We met a people called kwakutal. This people lived in lodges behind huge wooden statues. Not idols, they said, not worshipped. These images told stories, reminders, real animal and bird ways, carved on their totem poles. There were these gods, these thunderbirds. Not gods, they said. They were real. Birdmen, visitors every year. Beings who spoke their language, ate their fish, their salmon from rivers. Thinking of these beings as monsters, my sailors wanted to return to China. So it was. Farewell to them. The kwakutal took me in when they left. The simple village life, learning the language. A man called Laughing Loon befriended me. Loon was a shaman, master of ceremonies. A big celebration was coming soon. He asked if I would join his musicians. There were 3 people practicing on drums. My beating was 4th, following along. The celebration was a potlatch, feasting, gift-giving, and healing. A big potlatch. Laughing Loon joined me in an eye embrace. His dark centers were like deep pools of water, surrounded by dark bark. They were the hearts of trees. Out from this trunk radiated lighter brown branch roots in an intertwining pattern looping cords. Between the cords were a circle of backs of fish, dotted backs with specks of orange and red, swimming to go between the roots into the water pool tree center. A mysterious image. Hosted by Chief Dan of the village, hundreds of people arrived in canoes. At a potlatch, the greatest honor is giving. Everything that a village has is given to others. Chief Dan presented all their stored food, enough feasting for 3 days, until nothing is left. On the first day, there was a good welcome ceremony. Stories around the campfires with our beating drums. People dancing in circles and singing. The chief giving out presents and food treats. On the second day, Chief Dan did an eye embrace. My eyes kissed the vision in his eyes. It was sparkling stars in a deep dark night. There is the sun on water in your eyes, he saw. The stars in your eyes are in a pattern like Orion, the hunter, I told him. When the sky got dark, I pointed out the stars of the belt of Orion. Chief Dan saw 3 otter pelts hanging from the belt. A warm winter is coming, he said. Later, on the second evening, Loon staged a show with a group of costumed and masked characters. A sick man was placed on a board at the front. Loon entered, dressed in a thunderbird costume. He danced around and produced carved images, figures representing the sick man, one after another, each figure smaller than the last, until a small one was put on a string necklace. As Loon held up a paddle, he moved as if he were in a canoe. Bumping into a shore, he got out, as if a hunter, stalking around an island, looking here and there. Suddenly, 2 monster characters jumped out. This was much like the Cali show at Astola. Loon proceeded to overpower and defeat the monsters. From each monster, he took a stick hand to fit on the sides of the doll figure. Loon then got back in his magic canoe and came back with much fanfare. Loon placed the whole doll in the arms of the sick man, who rose up and joined in dance. This was a ceremony of a journey to the island of the dead, a masquerade to capture the sick man's soul and return it. Simple magic, hard to believe, still good at heart and far from Satan. The third day the feast continued, but all the guests complained with exaggeration. "Too full bellies, no more." That night, under a huge mother tree, dried cactus flowers, peyote buttons, were passed out. Loon told me buttons were traded from the desert people, very bitter, and an hour later causing vomiting. Loon sat beside me closely, in a small group. He touched my male parts with a caress. "No, Loon," I told him, "I'm not that way." After the drums became soft and distant, another awake vision came out of the fire. Every particle from the flames sparkled. Flashes of color dots swirled through eyes. The very air like water all around, alive. Living dreams took shape as phantoms solid. New words to understand new ways. Memories of many beings came firm, awakened. Queen Ping floated in the air, as if in the sea. Elephant Ronarong trumpeted behind me. Turning, there was Nikki on her back, holding the twins Adam and Eve on each side. My tears flooded, my eyes dissolving the vision. The fire sparks in the smoke buzzed like insects. Loon said, "Your spirit helpers are coming." Leaping up a tree limb, I began to climb. Halfway to the top, I met a raven. It looked at me with deep eyes, cocked its neck. "Why are you climbing?" Was it my imagination talking? No, it was reading body language. It flew away, and I looked at the fire below. There was no reason to be in the tree like a bird, so I climbed back down and sat beside Loon. "My bird gave me my name," he said. The moon was full above us. I heard a wolf howl. The voice of the wolf demanded an answer. A power, a compulsion, seemed to come over me. Onto all fours, I bounded into the forest. From the shore, my voice howled back at the wolf. We seemed to be talking about a hunt. The urge to hunt like a wolf took over. My vision, and especially my sense of smell, were sharp. Beside a trail, I came upon Loon, shivering in fear. "Don't hurt me, I'm a deer." Leaving him there, my being released of the wolf force. Sitting again at the fire, Loon came, holding a bear cub. "What are you doing with that little cub?" "The baby is mine to cuddle," he said. There was a noise of branches breaking in the dark, a heavy grunting. Angry black bear came closer. "Give her back her cub," I told Loon. "There's no way I can leave her," he said. Grabbing the cub, I tossed it to the mother. The bears left. Loon began to sob. "That was my totem animal, my helper." Dawn came as our group sat in a circle, each chanting a prayer. The world itself reflected through them. Peace be with you. All was still as I found a place to lay down under the arms of a great mother tree. When I awoke, I was alone, silent. The potlatch was over.